You ready for this? Welcome back. This is Wealth Principle number 3. And we've been traveling through the 52 weeks to wealth. Wealth Principle number 3 is understand the 4 types of money. They are, and write these down: income, profit, flow, equity. Income, profit, flow, equity. This comes directly from the book, The E-Myth for Real Estate Investors. It was done with Michael Gerber and Than Merrill. We're going to have Mitch Jorsky, our scaredy cat real estate investor, jump on and give us a rundown of the book, while our good friend and the keeper of the books, Mike Shine, the closer, the holistic attorney, is on a plane coming down to visit us in Tampa. So wealth principle number 3 is a commonly misunderstood wealth principle. There are not 3 types of money. There are not 2 types of money. There are 4. Typically, people forget about the mysterious 4th and 3rd. People forget about profit. Most business owners are in business for wages. They're in business just to make a little money, just to get by. If you ask any business owner, and there's another wealth principle coming up that talks about what business is really for, but most people in business think they're in a business to make money. Hands to the camera if you've heard that before. You think business is meant to make money. Yes. No. A business is meant to be sold. A business can only be sold worth something if it has profit, not income. Income doesn't make a business. Profit makes a business. Income pays your bills. It gets you by, it keeps money going, but that's not what builds a good business. A business is based on profit. Hands to the camera if you recognize that in your own business, it's missing some profit. Or even more importantly, you want more profit. Hands to the camera if you know you want more profit in 2021. Real estate investors, profit comes in the form of dividends paid to you. If you're in a real estate investment trust, if you're in a REIT, profit is a dividend. A dividend would be a nice form of profit, something that gets paid out to the shareholders. If you are a real estate investor and you're seeing income, that means revenue, money coming in, that's gross rents. We know we don't always keep that. Hands to the camera if you recognize we haven't always kept all that cash, right? It seems to go back out. Well, that's what flow is. Flow is income that stays in the company. It just keeps rotating. Flow can increase with market spend. It can be a part of your marketing. Flow can just be what floats the money. It just goes out every month because you've got mortgages, you've got expenses like water, you've got expenses like maintenance, and just keeping the building from falling down. Mother Nature comes after our buildings all the time. There's only one true enemy in real estate: Mother Nature. She wants to tear your shit down all the time. She's throwing water at you, she's throwing wind at you, she's beating you with the sun. Mother Nature is the enemy of real estate. It is the only thing we're ever concerned about. There's 2 most dangerous pieces of real estate: water and fire. That's the 2 most dangerous elements in real estate. It is not other real estate investors trying to take you out. It's Mother Nature. She wants to take our buildings to the ground. If you give her long enough, she will. Every one of your buildings, if you left it for 100 years, 200 years, it would be a pile of dust. All that would be left is the foundation. Fair to say, we see this, we understand. There are no other enemies, only Mother Nature. She's the only one who wants to see you back to normal. She's a lot like your subconscious mind. She sees things boring, basic, just the way they were, doesn't want to see things built. And so understanding that the natural state of life is growth and expansion and taking over other things, we have forces that we have to face every day. And we face our own minds and we face Mother Nature. Mother Nature has a plan. She wants to just fill the planet with plants and animals. That's her game. And as humans, we have a plan. We want to fill the planet with humans and plants and animals, but we want them to be in a little section that's not where we are. Hands to the camera if you don't like mice living in your house. We have this understanding that there's a place for them too, just not here in where we are. Like, we're cool with them existing, just not with us. And some of you may like mice in your house, which, God bless you. I don't understand why we would keep a rodent for a pet, but I know that it's important to some people. If that's the case, next time we pick up a building, we'll just trap them all and bring them to your house. You can have them. So flow comes and goes. It circulates, it moves in and out of the business. And the last one is equity. Equity, although I think real estate investors, I think in this room, we understand what equity is. Hands to the camera if you understand the value of equity. I bet you still don't. I bet even you, a real estate investor, still don't quite grasp the power of equity, the way equity works. Equity is an inverse relationship with the dollar. It is the coolest ghost money. You don't get taxed on equity yet. It is the coolest type of money out there. It's the money that we're using in a 1031 exchange. It's the money that we use to buy assets with assets that we already have. It's the money that right now goes up the most while the dollar goes down. It's your equity. You can only attain equity when you attain assets. Equity comes from owning assets. Now, your business can be an asset. Hands to the camera if you do own a business that you know is an asset, that you know can be evaluated. Yes, excellent. Who knows that you can build an asset or you can buy an asset? Hands to the camera if you recognize that there's two ways to build wealth. You can build or buy. Excellent. The easiest thing to do is just buy an asset. Just buy an existing business. Buy something that's already running, already making money. The second easiest thing is buy a business that could make money, that already exists. It's already there and it's just missing, the employees. The third, the hardest one, is to build a business from scratch. You have to be crazy to do something like that. Hands to the camera if you recognize, is this the first time you're hearing it? Yes. A lot of people think, but we're real estate investors. So let me explain what I'm talking about. I buy buildings that already exist with the tenants in place. Much easier for me to do that because we buy at scale. We want the business to already be running. We want business to already be generating cash flow. We want it to already have its employees out there collecting money from somebody else, bringing money to us. Hands to the camera if you know that a tenant is an employee. You have to look at them that way. You treat your employees well like you would a customer, yes, but they go get money from somebody else and they bring it to you. That's an employee. Yes, we understand the relationship, don't we? And so early on, I realized they were building my equity. My employees, my tenants were building my equity. And so I treated them with respect. And you want to do the same. Before we move any further, I want to talk about the book of the week, the E-Myth. The E-Myth for real estate investors. Hands to the camera if you're a real estate investor or know you want to buy some real estate, build some wealth. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Looks like 100% of the room. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're in the right place. The 52 weeks to wealth were built for you. Yes, as a real estate investor, I require you own a business because you'd be silly not to. It would be absolutely ridiculous to try to buy real estate without owning a massive flow of income. So yes, you're building both a real estate business and some other form of business. And for that, you need principles, you need processes. Why Dr. Terry Wager is always talking about systems when he's talking to his generator coaching students. Mitch Jorsky, everybody's got the E-Myth. Hold your E-Myth book up while Mitch gives us a rundown on what the E-Myth is all about. Mitch, take it away, brother.
And everyone should have this book. This is like the blueprint if you're going to be a business owner. And bonus tip, we talk about manifesting. I think it really works because every Saturday morning I type in chat, I want to be like Mike Shine when I grow up. And here I am doing the book of the week. Gotta love it. So E-Myth, many of us have read it. So hopefully it resonated with you because there's many messages, but the biggest message is that most people leave the day job, they leave having a boss, they don't want to work for someone else, and all they do is essentially move into that same job, except for they're just working for themselves, doing that same job, and now doing every other job of that business, as opposed to when they just had the one job. So that's the whole point of it, is about building a business, not building a job, because otherwise you create your own prison and you become your own bottleneck within that business. So it's all about how to expand, how to use resources, how to, essentially build that blueprint to build a team. And it starts from day one. It's not after I get enough business, let me now figure out how I expand this or who I need to hire. Like from day one, you build out exactly what the business looks like, all the roles, and you may be filling all those roles, but from day one, your goal is to work towards replacing yourself in many of those roles where you get to the point where you're essentially just organizing and collecting.
Wow, Mitch Jorsky, you worked your phrase in. Let's give Mitch a round of applause. Organize and collect. Organize and collect. If it was Mike Shine doing that, he would have said massive income from passive income. One of the reasons I love having Mitch and Mike on the 100 Millionaires podcast and doing this with them is because they have these powerful mindsets, right? Mitch has this mindset of organize and collect, organize and collect. All we do is put income building, income producing structures in place and then sit back and collect that income. Hands to the camera if you want some passive business structures. Yes, we call them PBSs, passive business structures. Those are different from rental properties. Rental properties are a little different from passive business structures because they involved actually having a business structure in place. There are some business structures that I just created. I actually created one for you called the affiliate program. Hands to the camera if you've already heard about the affiliate program. It's built to be a passive business structure. It's not built to be a job. Hands to the camera if you already saw the potential for the passive business structure within it. The ability to build teams, the ability to train and teach other people, build systems. Mike Gabriel is the king of systems. He uses ClickFunnels, and that has created massive passive income for him and for the people he's worked with. So getting back to Flow, I just downloaded my background. I want to test it out and make sure it's working here because it's pretty cool. Flow is something that we use to gain momentum in our business. We use Flow, and you should always allot some flow. Even if your business already carries flow, for real estate investors, it's your mortgage, it's your water bills, it's some of those other elements. If it already carries some flow, you should add a little bit more on the marketing. There's always room to go and spend some money and some time on marketing. And there's always room to spend some money on education. In fact, before this, I was talking to everybody in the Alchemist community, our graduates. By the way, let's give our graduates a round of applause. You went through the mentorship and you've graduated. And so this is just the beginning. There's still more growth to do. The mentorship is designed to give you 2 months of hardcore training so that you have the habits to be successful. But it takes 3 to 5 years to become a millionaire. Hands to the camera if you already know that. It takes 3 to 5 years from starting from nothing. If you have less than $100,000 in the bank, it takes 3 to 5 years to become a millionaire. If you have over $100,000 in the bank, we can move with speed. We can move a little faster. Charlie Munger said it. The first 100,000 is a bitch. Write this down. That is a technical term for the first 100,000. The first 100,000 is a bitch. People smarter than me came up with that phrase. But once you have the first 100,000, you can leverage it. You can utilize it to get to the next level. You can invest it properly. There are some investment structures out there that really, really move money fast. We have, all of us, all the coaches have moved our money pretty quickly this year because money is moving faster than it ever has. Money is being made faster than it ever has. The government is printing money more, faster than they ever have. So there's more opportunity for you. Hands to the camera if you recognize there is more opportunity out there right now. I can promise you're letting some slip by because I know I'm letting some slip by. Every day, you're not taking in $1 million. There's somebody else taking in $1 million. Understand there's some billionaires on this planet who are taking $1 million a second, $1 million a minute. There are people who are moving money faster than you've ever considered moving money. Hands to the camera if you have that recognition. Their flow is insane. They're putting so much money back into marketing, back into systems, back into their own education. And they're moving at a level that you can't even fathom, can't even understand. The flow is moving regardless of whether you get it or not. Flow, it's important.
One of the things I heard the other day is money loves to move.
Yes.
And so if you're keeping it, you're not treating money the way it wants to be treated.
100%. Money doesn't sleep. All right. Money never sleeps. But as Grant Cardone says in his Millionaire booklet, it gets bored. And if money gets bored, it starts finding a way to slip away, and it will erode and it will deteriorate. Hands to the camera if you've read the Millionaire booklet by Grant Cardone. It's a great book. Me and Mike are on a mission to read it every day this week. So we're listening to it every day this week. It's the 7 times in 1 week mission for us. This is not the first time I've done this. I listened to that book every day for a month back when I was broke, and I decided I wasn't going to be that way anymore. Hands to the camera if you're willing to make commitments like that, willing to just do whatever it takes, just stretch your mind a little bit, get into those principles. Yeah, I'm not the type to do everything myself. Even this coaching program, even this company, I realized it makes sense to leverage. It makes sense to leverage other people with more talent in certain areas, specialists in what they do. Then it makes sense for me to do everything. Is it okay that I built a team of coaches for the mentorship? Who here has benefited from the team of coaches from the mentorship? Hands to the camera if you've had some benefit from reaching out to at least 4 of those coaches. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Who here knows that there are 8 coaches and you have access to all of them when you join the mentorship? Hands to the camera if you recognize that. Still need to capitalize? Who still has a couple calls to make? Awesome. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, these coaches are here to help. The coaches are here to help you. They're here to take you to the next level. The reason we built the mentorship is so you can build the right business, build the business with systems, build it in a way that increases income every year, doubling your net worth every year, getting you, if you're in debt, getting you not just out of debt, but the hell away from it, and slamming you into way more good debt. Good debt this year is an asset. For the next 3-5 years, good debt is an asset. When I evaluate my asset classes, I put good debt right next to Bitcoin. I swear this is exactly where I put it. I put good debt right next to Bitcoin. I say, I want a ton of good debt. I want a ton more of real estate because I use good debt to buy real estate because it cash flows. It pays me, unlike Bitcoin, which does not pay me because I haven't figured out how to do what Mitch Jorsky does with the thing that pays him. But if you are interested in learning about crypto, Mitch is keeping it to himself. He's only giving it to the higher echelon, his secret group of friends. So thank you, Mitch, for all the information I get on the cryptos. I appreciate you, brother. And if you want to earn some crypto, to have a conversation with Mitch, he's onboarding people into a program called Leo Finance, which I have been blogging on for the last 2 months, and I've earned about $4,000 thanks to just my blog posts and being a part of that community. So Leo Finance is a way to mine a form of crypto, and I can transfer it over to Ethereum, which I'm not doing because the coin that we're getting right now is actually, it goes up in value faster than Ethereum, which has been pretty cool. But if you're not experiencing crypto, have a conversation with Mitch, talk to him. I know that he is the Security Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing. I know that he does a lot of teaching around real estate investing and evaluating deals. He's also great at evaluating coins and evaluating other investments. So Mitch is a great conversation to have, but remember, everything he gives is not
What are you listening to?
financial advice. It is simply his assessment of a complex product. And if you don't understand it, you should not invest in it. Hands to the camera if we agree. If you don't understand the investment, it's not for you yet. I didn't understand real estate when I started. I was just like, nah, we use these things, right? You know, I pay somebody money, right? Like, I didn't understand how to leverage. I didn't understand how to build assets. That's why we built the mentorship. The mentorship is what I wish existed. I wish, oh my God, I wish I could have given somebody $1,200 and then had them every week with a series of, with an attorney, with lenders, with investors, with people who focus on mindset, because I didn't know mindset was so important. I had no clue that this was the reason I was broke. If I had known, hands to the camera, people who've been through the mentorship, hands to the camera, if you had known what was going on up here, that would have been the first place you started. Fair to say, yes? Yes. I agree. I thought I needed to know how to invest. I thought that was the secret. But apparently the secret is mindset. The secret's getting around a community. That's why we built the Alchemist Mentorship. It's a true community. Graduates still hang out with us. Graduates still contribute. Graduates are picking up partners. They're partnering with each other. They're partnering up. They're building businesses. And then the businesses are building other businesses together. The businesses all work together with flows. We've got Jennifer Sullivan just started a book writing business where she literally writes the book for you, but it sounds like you and it gets your point across. And because I'm involved in that business, it also sells your product. So speakers or real estate investors or real estate agents who are looking for more influence in their market should write a book. What's the easiest way to get recognition today? If you like, you don't need a college degree. I'll go on record saying this, but you do need a book to say that you're the authority on the subject. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. College degree, everybody's got one of those, but very few people are the authority on finding a deal. Hands to the camera if you've touched this book already. Hands to the camera if you got it near you. Yes, yes. This book, if you open it, I promise, if you read just one paragraph, you can't help but want to read the next paragraph. There it is. This book was written so well, and it was reviewed by my brother. It was reviewed by Jen. These are both English students, grads. They write their own books. It was developed and read and perfected by people that I trust who are very, very good at writing books. Let's give Jennifer Sullivan and my brother a round of applause, helping me take my game to the next level. I have 2 friends who have opened the book and started reading and texted me and said, this is amazing. Let's give Peter Brown a round of applause, and Roger Figueroa and Hector. Hector's not on the call, but he watches the videos, I think. So these gentlemen have texted me saying, man, this is powerful. This is more than I expected, far more than I expected. I'd like to think that by now you recognize that's what I do. I over-deliver. I give more than is expected of me. I give more than I'm paid for. I give more than you expected of you. I find more inside of you than you knew was there. Hands to the camera if you recognize this already. Yes, yes. We're a team. We're a team. It takes a certain type of person to wake a certain type of person up. It takes a certain type of person to invest in themselves, to say, yes, I want to be a millionaire. It takes a certain decision. There has to be something in your life worth building $1 million for. Maybe it's a charity, maybe it's your family, maybe it's legacy, maybe it's concern that the world is going to a very different place than it has been, and you want a little bit of security in your life. Hands to the camera if you know the world 10 years from now will not be the world you grew up in. Excellent. Money gives you options. It gives you choices. Income from your business gives you choices. Profit gives you better choices. Equity allows you to buy whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, however you want. If you don't have equity, you are missing freedom. Equity provides freedom. Write that down. This is the difference between the different flows, the different 4 pieces of income. Equity provides freedom. Profit provides flexibility. Profit provides flexibility. Income pays the bills. Well, actually, income just feels good. Just feels good. It's bragging rights. There it is. Income is ego. Scratch out the other one. Income is ego. Flow pays the bills. Flow pays the bills. That's it. Most people have been living off of flow, paycheck to paycheck.
I'm going to jump in there and say income is survival, because ego is the eliminator of great opportunities, and income does provide an opportunity.
That's true.
Really isn't ego. It's just survival. But the next step up is where you start to grow.
Yeah. I like that. Give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. He's got to protect his brand, generate income. The point is not to work, to generate income. Income generators, generator coaching. And it's true. Everybody focuses on income, but not enough. I don't even think that people focus on income. This community does. I know this community focuses on income, but people outside of here, they're focused on flow. They're focused on how much do I need to pay the bills? They're not focused on generating income. Most people are like what Terry said. They're in survival mode. They're focused on, I just need enough to pay the bills. Hands to the camera if you suffered that experience at one point in your life. You're like, I just need enough to pay the bills. Right? When you sat with a coach, the first thing you said was, well, this is what I need to make. And we were like, yeah, that's nice. Cool. We're not here to figure out what you need to, you already know that. Like, that's what you know. That's why, yeah, you'll get that, I'm sure. Like, that's not the question. You come to this program to learn how to generate income so you can have $1 million in the bank. So you can have $1 million in equity in something, whether it's assets like real estate or assets like Bitcoin or assets like stocks, dividend paying REITs. The idea is you want $1 million in assets. Hands to the camp if you know you can retire with $1 million in assets. Today's world, you could do that. Yes. Yeah. At 3%, you're making $36,000. At 6%, you'd be making about $72,000. At 12%, 12% is where you should be aiming at in your investments at minimum. 12%, you're making $144,000 a year with $1 million. Hands to the camera if you could do okay with that. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that most people, even in today's inflationary market, could survive on $144,000 a year. But you could do better than that. You could go and get $2 million. And you could thrive off of 288 a year. Hands to the camera if you understand it's possible, it's reasonable to build that kind of equity and transfer that equity into assets that pay a 12% dividend yield. Mike Shine saying 10x, hectomillionaire. Sorry, decamillionaire. It's 10 millions, 10. Maybe you're sitting at $500,000 net worth right now, equity, and you're looking for being a pentamillionaire, 5 millions. Decamillionaire, it's 10 of them. Hectomillionaire, it's 100, it's 10x. Hence the camera, your mind doesn't really go to this place too often, stretching like that, but it's cool, feels good. Excellent. That's what the mentorship is. I guarantee you one thing, because in coaching, I'd be careful what I guarantee, right? I guarantee you one thing. If you follow the process, if you do what we teach you, if you take the habits, instill them into your mind, which we set it up pretty well to make sure you do that. Who here now reads a book a week? Did not before the program, do now. So we do create the habits that did not exist. We create impossible habits. Who here has filled out the net worth tracker, knows their net worth, has a good understanding of where it's at, may not fill it out weekly, but you absolutely pay attention to it quarterly. Did you know most financial advisors suggest that you pay attention to it once a year? We've got you doing it more than 4 times what the financial advisors suggest. It's powerful. The habits are powerful. They work. If you follow the process, which we will teach you, if you follow the process, join the mentorship, take action now, because the sooner you do it, the better your life is. Hands to the camera. A month is like 4 or 5 books. Imagine if you were missing 4 or 5 books in your life. Yeah. Do you know how many people are watching this right now and they've only got 10 books under their belt, 12 books under their belt? What, they got 20 books under their belt? I'm at 300 books. You know what I realize? I'm missing books. At 300 books, I realize I'm missing books. I'm over 300 now. The count has started for this year already. I think I put down 3 books this week, so I'm catching up for the couple of months that I was writing the book. But we're moving way past. And I just finished a book on Elon Musk, and I'm starting a book on Bezos. And man, there's so much information I didn't have. Books are important. The process is important. Becoming a millionaire is important. And if you think it's not, go back to work tomorrow. Go back to work on Monday and just enjoy the fuck out of that job. Just sit in that 9 to 5, sit in that position you're in, whether you're Uber driving or you work for somebody else, you're a real estate agent, you're a plumber, whatever, you're somebody else's little bitch. Go fucking enjoy it, right? Like love it, live it up, because that's a choice you're making every day by not building wealth. Hands to the camera if you understand that. It's a choice to work for somebody else. Hell yeah. For those of you who have joined the mentorship, joined the program that makes the most sense financially, economically, the mentorship is a tribe. We're a community. Where the Alchemist Nation is built on a foundation of people. It's built on you. It's built on you building yourself so we can build wealth and make it easier. It's a system. There is a system involved where your wealth gets transferred into systems that are already running with other people. We've already seen it. We've already seen people partner up within the community. And you've seen me and Ron partner with other people within the community. Hands to the camera if you see this is just the beginning. As you become more valuable, as we identify the asset you're building and plug it in, it becomes an asset to a much larger asset. And you just get a part of that residual income. The concept that we're building is huge. It's big. It can support all of us. We started with the goal of 100 millionaires. How do we retire 100 millionaires? How do we inspire 100 millionaires to go out and build 100 millionaires? But the business, the model that we have in our mind that we're building has room for more. We're just starting with the first 100. Does that make sense? It's got room for hundreds. It builds on itself as we identify new people with those talents we're looking for. We just plug them in. It's abundance. We understand the 4 types of money. We're going to do an exercise. You ready? Who likes our exercise? Hands to the camera if you recognize the exercise are important for you. Yes. Excellent. Before we do the exercise, Darina, can you drop your link in the chat? And by the way, affiliates, please, I'm not talking about dropping your mentorship link. I'm saying your calendar link. If you're an affiliate and you would be willing to sit with somebody who is thinking about considering the mentorship, wants to take their life to the next level, wants to build their business. I know that every affiliate, by the way, hands to the camera, if you've been through the mentorship program and it's changed your life, has improved your life in one way or the other, excellent. Then you have my permission to sell the mentorship program to somebody else. Hands to the camera if you went to the mentorship program and it did not change your life whatsoever. Your life is exactly the same as it always has been. No hands? Excellent. Okay. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm keeping up with my promises and commitments. So hands to the camera if you know you're awesome and you want to help other people become awesome. If you now know the secrets to success, you're implementing them and you want other people to be successful. Excellent. You have my permission to put a calendar link in the chat. I don't want you just saying, hey, use my link. I want you to have a conversation with somebody and find out what's important to them. Find out what they want to do in life and identify if this program is right for them. Don't sell it to them. Identify if it's the right thing. Find out what they're looking to create for themselves. Find out what they want in life. And if the mentorship is right for them, then you can hand them their link. Let them ask for it. Do not just give it to them. Hands to the camera if we understand. This is not sales. This is just a conversation with future friends, with people we want to see grow, we want to see build. Excellent. Okay. Well, then in that case, you have my permission to drop your Calendly links. And for everybody who's interested in joining the mentorship, you do not get a direct call with me. I am multimillionaire. I am retired, but I will be doing a call every single week with you once you sign up. Every single week, I jump on group call and we do a training and we do a teaching, and then I break you out into sessions with our coaches, and our coaches will be holding you accountable. And then we have a group where you type down all of the things you want to be held accountable to, and I will be reading those. Hands to the camera if you know that I read everything in the mentorship group. I take the time. I go through it. I love seeing it. It's what motivates me. It's what keeps me doing this. Every day, I consider not doing a training. Every day, I look at it. I'm like, my subconscious mind's like, you don't have to. You're rich as fuck. Just go buy another piece of real estate. You don't have to do this. And every day I remind myself of the promise that I made to myself when I was broke, when I was sitting on that paint bucket in my living room, considering whether I should be still alive or not after I'd lost everything, after my wife left and I had no job, and I was sitting there with a building that needed work, and I had no clue how real estate worked, but I owned the property and had no tenants, and was sitting there on that bucket saying, I could just end it now. There's a couple of series of ways to end it pretty quickly, were pretty reasonable in my head. And then I said, no, because this hurts so much. And I realized there was other people out there who have at least come close to this experience, and that money had just driven me insane to the point where it took everything away from me. And it wasn't money, it was my own subconscious. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I made a commitment that I'm going to stick around. But this time I'm not here for myself. This time I need something bigger. And I kept looking for the answer. I remember walking across the kitchen floor over to the window. And I looked out at the window at a property that I had under agreement. And I looked at these other properties that I wanted to own, and I had no way to do it. And I remember thinking, I'm going to buy this entire block. I'm going to buy every property that I can see out this window. And when I do that, I'm going to teach other people how to do that. When I finish buying this block, when I'm a millionaire, when I'm financially free, I'm going to teach people so they never feel the pain that I'm feeling right now, having lost absolutely everything, being worth less than I was born with, negative $25,000, under money. I was under net worth, right? This country will let you go under. It's all right, because it'll also let you soar past that. And so I made a commitment, and I stayed alive another day. And I've made that commitment every single day. Every single day. Every single day I wake up and I say, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. There's somebody out there right now who needs to hear what I know, what I've got in my head, what I've built, what I understand, how money works, how the mind works. I went and I traveled across the country seeking out coaches. I was desperate. Because I didn't have another reason to be alive. I didn't have another reason to live. And so I was desperate to figure this out, this money game. And so I paid for the coaches. I put whatever they asked, at $85,000 that I did not have, on credit cards. And I traveled the country. I did what they said. I learned hypnosis. I learned NLP. I learned how to teach people from stage. I was scared to death to be on stage. Remember my first time in Toastmasters, there was 60 people in the room. I got down there. Don't ask me what I talked about. I have no idea. All I remember is sweating. All I remember is I sweat and I couldn't see faces. And I got back to my chair and I was terrified out of my mind. But I learned, because I had no other reason to learn other than there was a big community of people out there who needed some help, who just needed some education. And that's what drove me. That's what pushed me. And to this day, it's what gets me on these calls. It's what gets me writing those books. It's what pushes me to write the blogs, to be on the podcast. Every day, I promise, every day I jump on a call, I'm like, fuck. Like, I would so much rather be on a beach right now. I'd so much rather just go buy another piece of real estate. But I see you. I see you every week. I see your dedication. I see what you're doing in your life. And I know that it's important. And I built the 52 wealth principles because I knew that at someday I too want to step back. And someday I do want to take a break, but I haven't done the work yet. I haven't earned it. The community is not there yet. Each one of you has to become a millionaire. If I stop before that, I haven't reached my internal goals. Does that make sense? Excellent. And so when I talk about the mentorship, it's a piece of personal pride for me to build 100 millionaires this year. That's it. Nothing more than I know it's the right thing to do. Nothing more than there's purpose behind it. Yes, Terry Wager's got the shirt on. 100 millionaires. Hell yeah. I see Dave Cadero's rocking the shirt. Doug McGurk got the shirt. Let's give it up to our leaders, our coaches. We appreciate each and every one of you who hold the mission for us. I got the cup in front of me every single day. I see the mission. I see what I'm here for. And the first 100 millionaires are just the beginning. This first 100 millionaires are what I require to inspire the next 100 millionaires. Each one of you, when you build your wealth, will go out and inspire another 100 to build their wealth. Yes, it's work. Yes, it's the greatest work I've ever done. I make a lot more money doing other things. The reason we charge any money for the mentorship is to make sure that I can pay my affiliates and to make sure you stay, to make sure you take it seriously. Who here has done trainings before that were free and decided they just weren't going to show up? Who here has ever gotten a book for free that they just never read? Who knows people do this? Who understands that not serious people won't pay for things? You ever pay more than $10,000 for something and you use it basically every day? Yes. Right. Who here owns a car, right? You feel guilty not using the thing. You paid so much for it. It's like, I got to go use it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who here has paid for an education? You paid for an education. You're like, well, I got to stay. I paid for it. And the day you realize education was garbage anyway, and you have to switch away from that to make more money. Hard day, isn't it? Hands to the camera if you know what that's like. Yeah, I've experienced both sides of it. But I'll tell you what, every dollar I've paid into my education makes me better, makes me sharper, makes me stronger, makes me faster. It's the reason I can outmaneuver most investors. It's the reason I can outmaneuver investors who've been in it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years longer than me. I can outmaneuver them. I beat them to property. I beat them on price. I beat them on efficiency. I beat them on time spent in my properties. It's the reason I outgrow their portfolios in a year where it took them 20, 30, 40 years to build it. Hands to the camera if you recognize education is the secret. It's not how it's done, it's who's doing it. It's all about what you know, how this mind works. So when I sell the mentorship at $1,200 is very affordable. You're welcome. It's because I just had to put it at a price that kept people accountable, just enough to keep you showing up for 8 weeks, because what I'm teaching is hard work. What I'm teaching are principles. Your mind won't like it. Your mind won't like being told what to do at first, but we're building habits. We're forging you in the fire, right? We're forging you in the flames of money, of wealth building. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, but it's the work you've never done before. That's why you don't have what you're looking for. Hands to the camera if you understand. There's a little work to do. There's a little bit of work up here. Yes. Mentorship is 60 days because it takes 30 days to build a habit. Hands to the camera if you heard it takes 21 days to build a habit. Yeah, I want to be extra safe, right? We went 60 days with the program because first you got to learn the habits. Then you got to start implementing them. And then you got to mess up a little bit and learn how to implement them. And by the end of the program, you have the habits of a millionaire. Success is not built from just doing one big thing. Success is built from small habits, keystone habits. We're going to be talking about those in the future because one of our wealth principles is keystone habits. You ready for an exercise? Hands to the camera if you're ready for an exercise. Excellent. Excellent. I want you to write down your income right now. Write it down, your income. Write down that number for the year, just the annual number. If you don't know it, shame on you. Join the mentorship.
I don't know. It keeps on growing.
Oh, that's a good reason. All right, that's a good reason. Write down your income. Then on the side of it, you're going to write down your flow. Flow is your expenses. Flow is money that comes in and goes out. Everybody has flow because you got breath. You're on this planet. It's an economic planet. So you got flow if you're still alive, you're still here. And if you're not paying your flow, somebody else is paying your flow. So, so it's there, it exists. If you're like 13 years old, living off of mom and dad playing video games, they got flow on you. Trust me, you cost something. Excellent. So you got your flow written down. Now on the side of that, you got profit and you got equity. Profit and equity, if you don't have it yet, we want to set some goals. Well, you want your profit to be at least 10% of your flow. At least 10% of your flow. Minimum. In equity, we want to be at least double your profit. At least double. Like if you're profiting $10,000, your equity better be 20. Please, if you can't double your income, double the net worth, like if you can't get a 50% return on your investment, you need the mentorship. There's some work to do. And if you're in the mentorship and you're not doubling your money every year, you and I need to have a conversation. There's a conversation to be had. Talk to Dr. Terry. Well, yeah, right. My time's valuable. Talk to Dr. Terry Wager. His time is valuable too, but he knows how to charge for it. So we'll get you taken care of. If you are not hitting your goals, there's work to be done. Just have a conversation with us. Shoot us a text. Let's get things going. Hands to the camera if you know we're still available. Even after you graduate, we're still here for you. We're still moving you forward. We still built a strategy and a plan for you that takes time to implement. The mentorship was designed for you to qualify yourself to us. It was designed to say, hey, can you go through 8 weeks? Do you deserve our commitment? Can you put the money up? Can you do the habits? Can you create those habits? The people that we invest with are from this mentorship. There's only a handful of people who are outside of this mentorship that I trust using their money, because when we use their money and we double their money for them, I'm stuck with them. So I choose to only invest with people that I like. Hands to the camera if you understand. Yes. This was built for a reason. In order to keep growing at the level I want to keep growing, we're going to require a few millionaires. And in order to make this a fun business, it has to be people that I like. And so Ron and I, when we looked around, we had some millionaires. We were using their money to build, but it wasn't as many as we wanted. We wanted an army. The impact we want to have on this planet is huge. And we couldn't do it with the amount of people we had. And so we had to inspire more people. And for Ron and I, that was a hard decision because we live a very comfortable life. We're very happy with our net worth. We're very happy with what we've built and what we created. And we're very happy with not doing anything. We like playing video games and enjoying ourselves. He plays different games than I do. He plays zombie games, shoots their heads off, and space games, and he flies around in a spaceship. You know, Ron on the weekend is either a space fighter or a zombie fighter. And I do something very similar. I play strategy games. I could spend the whole weekend playing chess, right? Like I just absolutely enjoy the thought and the concept of strategy. But we recognized that we wanted to make the world a better place. We decided it came down to education. Over and over, he and I would argue about how to make the world a better place. And we were like, well, if people's mindsets were just better, it'd be better, right? Like if we could just get their mind right, if we could just teach them how money worked, they wouldn't be so greedy or so selfish or so obsessed with money. That's why they go to work for 40 hours and then complain their whole week about the work that they're doing, their job or their boss. They're obsessed with money. Your family, your friends, the ones like accusing you of being obsessed with money are the ones obsessed with money. That's why they're slaves to it and we're not. Yes. Do I know about money? Yeah, but I understand it. Do I talk about money? Yeah, because I get it. Because everybody around me is obsessed, right? You want to get somebody's attention, talk about money. Instantly, they're like, you got some? You know how to get some? You want to give me some? Like hands to the camera if you've heard, like you talk about money, somebody's like, well, you're buying drinks, right? They suddenly want to hang out with you all night. Look, they're obsessed with money. The world is obsessed. It's disgusting. It's crazy. And so Ron and I realized, well, all the wars, right? All the fights are over money. Everybody is complaining and upset and frustrated. And so Ron and I realized if we could just teach the world how money works, like just not even like give them, just literally show them how this funny thing works. The crypto guys get it the best, right? They're like, it's fiat, it's not real. No kidding. This nobody knows. Nobody seems to understand. It's just paper. It's just perception, right? But if you could learn how it works, you can leverage it because the perception is so powerful. It is so tangible in the mind of the planet that you can have whatever you want if you understand the principles and rules behind money. And so Ron and I built this training program against our lazy wills, against our internal mind. Like, look, Ron and I are not hard workers. We're efficient. That's why we do such big things. We're efficient workers who operate with systems, but neither of us are grinders. We gave that up a long time ago. Understand, we don't work hard. We work intelligently. We put in the work because it's the right thing to do. Now, sometimes I'll put in 24 hours. Doreena's seen me. I'll stay up all day, all night. I'll sleep 2 hours before I do a call. I'll do what has to be done. But I'm not a hard worker. I just have something that has to get done. Does that make sense? It's just a mission that's important. Education is a secret. Teaching other people is a secret to building a great business. Who here wants to build a great business? When you look at the numbers on that paper, who wants those numbers to be double what they are? Who wants them to be 10 times what they are? 10 times. Then Grant Cardone has not given you the secret. Because it's not just 10x. It's not just think 10x, right? 10x. It's not, and I love Grant, and I hate throwing rocks at him, but 10x is not enough. You've got to learn how to teach. You've got to learn how to train other people to do the work for you. You've got to learn how to acquire assets, human capital. Human capital is how you 10x your business, how you 10x your life. And unfortunately, Grant doesn't go into the details on that. You know, just like who's the guy, full money makeover, Ramsey's like, you got to save, pay off all your debt. That's like only step one, only a step. It's simplify. That's it. Right? What is it, Terry?
That's half a step.
It's half a step. It's not even the full step because you've got to simplify and increase income, right? And Grant Cardone's talking about 10x. You got to go all the way, like big goals. But they don't talk about how to get rich. Just one step. The next step is you've got to be able to teach other people and inspire other people. You've got to be able to motivate others to join your mission, to join your crazy business idea, to join you, to work with you, to work for you, to build something worth building. They have to be inspired. They have to be talented. They have to be motivated. If they're not motivated, you don't want to attract them to your business. There's plenty of unmotivated people on the planet already doing unmotivated shit. Like, let them go do their thing. You don't need everybody. What you're looking for are motivated people. Motivated people make a difference in this world. Motivated people build businesses. Motivated people build assets. Motivated people deserve the money they earn. Does that make sense? Hands to the camp if you know you're a motivated person. I learned the skill a long time ago. I learned how to inspire motivated people. I learned how to attract motivated people. And so we've built a very motivated community. If you're looking to build your business, the people are right here. Your partners are right here. We're all motivated. Look, I tell you all the time, Ron and I don't like to work, but we get shit done. Does that make sense? We don't like to put in a lot of effort, but when it's necessary, we do. When it's necessary, when there was $1 million on the line, it wasn't a million, I'm sorry. When there was $5.5 million on the line, Ron did what he had to do to make sure the refinance went through. He did paperwork. He did the grind. He called attorneys. Ron doesn't like to talk to people. Hands to the camp if you understand. High C personality. He'd rather be left alone. But when it came down to it, he strapped up. He gutted up. He did what he had to do to make sure the refinance went through. Stuff that nobody likes. Nobody likes to go through their taxes and send all these little documents and go through and find 52 leases to all your different tenants. Nobody likes doing that stuff. Talking to your property manager, getting it all done, but he did it. We're lazy people, but we're effective. We get the job done because we conserve our energy for when it's necessary. And when it's necessary, you show up. I'm not telling you to work hard. I'm telling you to do the right thing. Follow the principles. The 52 weeks to wealth, none of them in there say work hard. Who here has read the 52 weeks to wealth? Who's read all the principles, gone down the list? It's not in between the lines. It's not in there. Yeah, I know Jennifer Sullivan, she's working on the 52 weeks, building the book. Nowhere in my philosophy is hard work. The only hard work I believe in is up here. The only hard work I've ever proven to mean anything is up here. There is a time and a place to do things you don't want to do. Absolutely. For sure. Sometimes, and I love all my investors. I really do. I love each and every one of you. And sometimes I don't want to call you. I'll be honest. Sometimes I just want to take a nap or go sit on my deck and have a cigar in peace. But when you text me, suddenly I want to respond. Doreena's seen it. She's like, babe, put the phone down. I'm like, yeah, but Peter just texted me. I got to handle this one. Like, let me just text back. Like, just one more text. Or Terry just texted me. Let me just, It's important to me. You're important. What you're looking to do, what you're looking to create for yourself. Kim Rodriguez sent me, she sent Dorina a book, right? A novel in the form of a text. And when Dorina said, it's so long, I haven't had a chance to read it. I said, send it to me. Send it to me. I know Kim. Kim's one of mine, right? And so I read it and I called Kim because it made sense. When somebody writes a book like that, it's time for a phone call. And it's like what we've built here. You are so important. You don't even understand how important you are. Like, you just don't know the role that we have for you. Like, when I make a commitment to somebody to build make them a millionaire, the first time I did it was Ron Bowling. I looked around and said, I'm going to make you filthy fucking rich. I had a dirty mouth. What can I say? Those are the words that came out of my mouth the first time we had this conversation. I made that commitment to him. I was like, bro, I'm going to make you filthy fucking rich. Like, I don't know how to define that at this point. So I just keep growing it. Hands to the camera if that's okay. I made a commitment. I don't understand. I was like, we just keep going until I hit it. You let me know when we got there. And so I double our income and our net worth every year. I keep doubling it because I made a commitment. I said the same thing to Terry when I brought Terry in. I was like, dude, I'm telling you the same thing I told Ron because I didn't know another commitment at the time. I'll make you filthy fucking rich. Let's go. Let's get it.
I think that was a mutual thing.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, it was mutual. You might have even said it first.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. And it's the same. I'll tell each and every one of you. My goal is not just to make you a millionaire. It's to make you filthy fucking rich. I don't know how to stop. Right? It's the one addiction that has kept me going. I have an addictive personality. I know it's true. But fortunately, I have put myself into the right habits, the right addictions. I want to see you successful. I want to see you do well. I want to stay healthy, so I eat healthy, mostly. Taco Bell every day. I want to see Dorina happy, so I take the time to figure out what's going on in her head. I want to see, my business partner happy, so I take the time to listen to his goals. And I do the same thing with each and every one of you. When you write down what you want to be held accountable to each week, I pay attention. Does that make sense? To my coaches who have dedicated so much of their time and energy to this community, thank you. Without you, I would not be as effective as I am. I would not reach as many people as we do. I would not be able to go on the journey we're about to go on. I'm about to go hard. My goal is to put 100 people through the mentorship in the next 3 months. 3 months. I did it over a year last year. I had 9 months to do it. I think 85 people went through the mentorship last year. So this year, this 3 months, we're putting 100 people through. It's a grind. It's a little different. It's a new challenge for me. We're building an affiliate team. Hands to the camera if you know you're an affiliate who's going to help me get there. Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate you. The goal is big. I set a goal at the beginning of the year to pay out $500,000 to our affiliates. I've upped that goal to $1 million. $1 million paid out to affiliates. I have the highest commission structure of any other coach in the business. If you find somebody paying more, bring them to me. It sounds like they're an abundant person. I'd like to work with them. Absolutely. But I am the highest paying coach out there because the money is for you. The mission is more important. I had to make sure there was enough meat on the bone to turn it into a career. And so I did. Does that make sense? In some cases, Ron and I make as little as 30% on these, 20% on some of them. When I tell you it's not about the money for me, I promise that's the truth. I make more money, that undestructible money on my real estate deals. I'm good at this. I promise I'm very good at this. I make more money for my business partners on our real estate deals than we do from the training company. It is designed to grow and explode. That's how this company was built. It was designed to have an impact, to be viral, to get a mind of its own, to have you tell me what it needs, to have you tell me what it is going to make it better. Does that make sense? Everything I've done is a beta test, and I take your feedback and I implement it. It's gaining a mind of its own, and I appreciate you. Because if we do succeed, that means we've put 1 more million millionaires on the planet with the intention to go build another million. If we succeed, if I build 100 millionaires this year, which I will, because I do everything that I say I will, I build 100 millionaires this year. That means next year we're going after 10,000 millionaires. That's 100 millionaires going after their own 100 millionaires. And that means the next year, that's 10,000 millionaires going after 100,000 millionaires. Do you see where this is going 4 years out? We see it? Hands to the camera makes sense? There's only 18 million millionaires on the planet right now. I just want to add 1 more. I just want to add 1 more mil of inspired businesses that are inspired to go help other people build wealth. Inspired business owners and investors who are building businesses designed to go help other people build wealth. And maybe health, and maybe relationships. We're branching out now. We're bringing some health coaches in. We got Gordon. He's leading the health sector. We got Fred Posimo coming in, helping people with their happiness. So there's some strength in the community already. The millionaires are giving back. We got Doug helping people with their mindsets, helping them get out of their own way, learning NLP, learning their frames. We got Dr. Terry Wager teaching people with an analytical process how to actually generate more income, double your income annually, and in some cases quarterly. Who here knows that these coaches know what they're doing? I wouldn't have brought them in if they weren't specialists. I wouldn't have brought them in if they weren't better than me. They're better than me at what they do. You know what I do? Organize and collect. I organize talent, and I make sure that they collect money. And in the middle, I get a little percentage, just a little bit. I build millionaires, right? I got the website, ibuildmillionaires.com. Own it. Literally, that's what I do. So if you want to be a millionaire, run with us. If you want to build millionaires, build with us. Hands to the camera if you know you're one of us. 100 millionaires, 2021. Let's get it. It is easier than you think. In the words of Grant Cardone, it is easier than you think. And it is harder than you think. But it is possible. And you can do it. Ah, Terry, I love that sign. You can do this. Excellent. Let's give all of our coaches a round of applause. Thank you to the coaches for all of your commitment to us. And I do have a training that I'm running at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's on the West Coast in LA. So it's actually 9 o'clock over there, EST. So Darina, do you have the link for that training? It is Get the Deal. I'm running Get the Deal for LA Real Estate Investors Association. We're expecting about 50 people to be there. There it is. Yeah, Darina, drop the link for the LA event if you can. And I will be also teaching a little bit of Get the Money. So when I was teaching the 90-minute version of Get the Deal the other day, they asked for Get the Money. So I'll be doing the full version of Get the Deal, but I'll also pepper in maybe 30 minutes of Get the Money. So I'll be talking about strategies for creative financing, how to get houses with no money down. It's a cool training that I think is really important. In fact, it's my next book. Get the Money is the book I'm working on next. But I am not working on it now. I'm working on the 52 Weeks to Wealth with Jen. Very important. That one has to get out for the community. But the book, Get the Deal, is what the first course was based on. Get the Money is what the next book is based on. And Be the Bank will be coming out probably sometime next year. It's a lot of work. Hands to the camera if you know it's a lot of work. It's no joke. But it was a lot harder to gain the information in the first place. I already did the hard work. I already did the tough stuff. It was a lot harder to put myself in creative financing situations, to ask sellers to give me their money and their property at the same time. Hands to the camera if you know that's a lot of work too. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. I'll tell you that. I already did all the hard work. I already made the millions, but I haven't made 10 millions. And so I got to keep going. I haven't made 100 million yet. So I still got things to do. Fortunately, it's a lot easier with money. You just got to get over this hump. You just got to get over this beginning part. First 100,000's a bitch. So Darina's got the link there. Yes, I will be teaching Get the Deal, and I will be teaching a small part of Get the Money, and I will be selling the mentorship. You know me, I got to sell something I believe in. So my affiliates, join me. If you want to make some easy sales today, oh no, shit. Sorry, I can't invite you. I got to give all the commission to the National REIA. So if you want to volunteer and hang out with us, you'd be working for free, because the National REIA is taking 50% of everything we make on this one, because they gave us an audience of 50 people. Hands to the camera if you understand, an audience is worth it. It's worth paying for. Yep. So if an affiliate sells on this one, we can probably still make the payment. I'd still do that. I just wouldn't be able to pay me and Ron on this, but that's fine. If you show up and you want to do a sale, we're cool with it. As long as you understand it's training. It's all beta testing. We're just learning the process. Hands to the camp if you want to learn with us. Hands to the camp if you want to earn with us. Hell yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause. Coaches, I want to break down real quickly. I've got about 10 minutes to hang out, but let's start with Dr. Terry Wager. 4 types of money. What was the biggest piece of advice you could give to somebody who's looking to learn a little bit more about these 4 types of money?
Well, for me, it's always in the building your income area, because once you're building your income, the other 3 start taking care of themselves. When you got your eye on one thing, and we talk about the one thing a lot, if you focus on building your income, you're going to start seeing things happen. Now, when I talk about building income, it's not really about the money as much as about the connections, about the network, about helping people move to where they want to be, because money follows where service starts. And so for me, it's all about helping you get to where you want to go. And so I focus on the income. I help you with the gap between where you're at and where you want to be. And we put a plan together and move you there.
I love when Terry talks. I feel like he's talking to me. He focuses on building the income. I like that. Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. Generator Coaching, phenomenal, phenomenal job. You guys have built so many future millionaires just in the past few months. What we've seen you take people to the next level, it's absolutely amazing. I texted Terry last night. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'd do without you. Right? Like people that I see the potential in, I'm like, oh man, cool. You need Terry. Like, boom, like slide them over, because it's easy for me. It's just so easy for me, right? Like Terry does all the hard work, does all the heavy lifting with the mind. When there's anxiety, when there's depression, when there's not motivation, when there's, I don't know how to do this. Like there's all that stuff that I don't have to do. Understand, you're building a team, leverage other people's skills and assets. Yes.
The feelings mutual. we talked in, I think 2017, 2018, I can't remember what year it was, but a couple of years ago, I talked about doing something together, and we're doing it and I'm loving it. And Walter did text me out of the blue. I'm so glad you're on my team. I'm so glad we're working together. And I texted him back, this has been one of the happiest years for me on the planet. I mean, just being able to help all of you guys move towards your goals, helping Walter with his goal. It's just amazing when we can use our skills, use our education, use our time on this planet to move people where they want to go. There's nothing like it in the world. And, I'm lucky enough to get to do it with my partner and have new partners that we're doing it with. It's an amazing ride. And so it's all about moving forward. It's all about looking at what we can give back, all about the connections. And I'm super happy about this one.
I agree. Let's give Dr. Terry Wager another round of applause. I appreciate you, brother. And speaking of another brother, another one of my brothers from another mother, Doug McGurk, the king of rock and roll, the heart of NLP. Me and Doug, we sweated it out on an island together. We went through some deep experiences, and at the end of the day, Doug,
where was I for that?
What is it?
Where was I for that? Was he with us?
No, we were in Florida, bro. You were there.
Oh,
you were there all the events that we did.
Oh, I missed that.
No, you and I had Dominican. Me and Doug had Florida. Not the same. But we sweated
exactly
it out.
The same but different.
Different places.
We sweated it out with one of my investors who's a multi-millionaire. We hung out in the sun with Mitch Jorsky. He was there with us, and we just had a great conversation. And being able to hang out with good people who can hang out with my investors. I felt comfortable with Doug and Mitch and Elizabeth Miller and Darina to hang out with somebody who I was borrowing $1 million from, literally borrowing $1 million from. And never once did I feel uncomfortable or like I couldn't hang with these people at the same time. Does that make sense? The entire time I felt like, wow, like I'm represented very well by being here with Doug, by being here with Mitch, by being here with Elizabeth and Darina. They're representing what this community is all about. And it felt so great. And Doug, your story is so powerful. But if you could, in a few words, explain some of the NLP behind the 4 types of money, some of the modalities that are involved there.
Well, they're all there.
I know.
Yeah. So
Come on, man.
Yeah. But well, actually, Dorina stole my thunder earlier because it's currency, and it's understanding there's different ways that the current flows, but it's always flowing, right? So are you in a yacht, or are you in a speedboat? And they both do different things. They both have different ways of functioning. Some move slower, some move faster. Some are more versatile than others, right? Try to turn a cruise ship in a bay, or try and move the little speedboat. Very different. And really, it's that mindset of understanding that idea that all boats rise and fall with the tide, and it's always, to Terry's point, moving. So if you can get on board, and that's what's so powerful about the community here is, you get on board with Terry first. All right, I got to get that income flowing so that I can start diversifying my energies and know when it's time to get on that yacht, know when it's time to get in the speedboat, know when it's time to go fishing off the dock. Right? There's a time and place for everything, and being in this community, I couldn't be more blessed myself. And more importantly, everyone here has access to it. What you're doing for free right now is tremendous, right? But it's still currency, still has value, because everyone here is investing their most valuable asset, their time. And if you can invest more and get more involved, it's just going to turbocharge your entire experience and know where your best energy is spent. Are you building equity and then leveraging it, or are you building income to create the equity? Are you creating more assets? And it's really can't thank you enough for staying consistent. I think Walter needs a hand for this. Is now what, year number 2 of every weekend? Holy crap, every Saturday, give him a hand. That is commitment.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you. It was a difficult decision to make, but I made it, and I'm staying with it. So Doug McGurk is the king of NLP. If you don't understand what neuro-linguistic programming is, you are being hit with it constantly, and you just have no idea. The media uses it 100% of the time, all the time, every day. The boss you work for uses it on you every single day. They may not understand what they're doing, but they are using it. Your spouse is using it. Everybody around you is using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And if you don't understand it, then you're misusing it, and that is dangerous.
And you're also falling potentially prey to it. You may not be realizing how we're being hypnotized. And to be fair, probably working with me, I'm actually going to be dehypnotizing you. Right. So that you can really be aware of what's going on, so you can live at the cause, not at the effect of life.
To Doug and Walter's point, one of the things that I teach when I start getting into the hypnosis world, because I live there too. I do stage hypnosis. We all do. Right. But the funny thing is the person that hypnotizes us the most, that causes us the most trouble,
yourself,
is our own ego, our own mind, hypnotizing us into the can'ts, into the not wanting to's, to the I don't know how to's, all of those things that we hypnotize ourselves into believing about our money problems and about our relationship problems. They're not a problem. You're just listening to yourself too much. And that's a hypnosis that we all do. Breaking that is what you get with Doug, is what you get with me, is what you get with this 52 weeks. Every Saturday is all about dehypnotizing you so you can be your best you.
I love it. I love it. Let's give Doug and Terry a round of applause. Look, you wouldn't shower once a week. Don't just get your motivation once a week. Don't just get your inspiration once a week. There are books to read. There are coaches. There are podcasts. There are things to listen to. I know our coaches have put out a ton of content. I'm putting out a ton of content. I'm interviewing people every single day. I'm interviewing people on the podcast. There is so much information, so much motivation to get out there. If you think you don't need it, then you probably smell bad. Just like if you don't take a shower. You've got to stay positive. You've got to stay motivated. You got to stay in the right framework. I was telling Dorina the other day, like I wrote down all the principles of what I want to create this year. And I was spending 2 weeks, stressed out trying to figure out what I was supposed to do. And then I went back to my notebook and I was like, holy shit, I figured it out already. I already wrote all this down. The mind forgets anything that will grow it unless you make it a habit. You've got to keep going back and get it remotivated. You got to keep getting re-inspired. The things you think you know, you will forget unless you practice them often. This thing is meant to keep you where you are, not to get you where you're going. Does that make sense? And so we use outside tools, outside resources, other people, affirmations. We use words, we use language, we use visualization to keep us moving to where we want to go. Because up here is designed to hold, to sustain, to keep us safe. But it's not designed to get us to where we want to be until we inspire it, until we motivate it. And it takes external resources to do that. This is why we're different from animals. We can change our environments. We're just slightly more evolved than the horses, Darina. I apologize. They are very pretty animals. Yep. Steve O'Keefe, what's up, brother?
Hey, I just wanted to say I saw something that Doug had posted about a 5 p.m. thing for the next 7 days. I didn't even know what it was, but I put it on my calendar. So why don't you give him a plug?
I didn't know what it was either. Doug, we got to communicate more. Doug, hook us up. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. And thank you, Steve. Yeah. Yesterday, Heidi and I were talking about just, how to add value and so forth. And so we're like, all right, well, let's just do 7 days. We have the Heart of NLP training coming up starting on Thursday with you guys. So it was just like, hey, let's just, add more value to it, prime the pump. If anyone wants more info, here's a way to get it. So for every day at 5 p.m., I'm just going to spend some time going live, just sharing different areas of life as to where NLP can be used consciously. Right, we're using it other than consciously all the time, how we could consciously use it in different areas. And last night I started with relationships and how NLP, how I used NLP to attract and keep my beautiful wife, and really how it was making a decision to be really clear about what I wanted, who I wanted to be in a relationship with, and who I needed to be in order to attract and keep that relationship. And then each day we'll dive into some other stuff. I think tomorrow we're going to talk about confidence, or tonight rather, confidence under stress. Right? How do we access certainty and confidence when, at whim? We call it like a dog. If we want to.
Yeah. They say willpower is not on demand, but confidence, call it over.
That's right. And Jackson asked for a link. It's on Facebook. Just find me on Facebook. I'm going to do it. I think I can probably share it, or someone can share it in the Alchemist group if you want to. But it'll be on my page, or Heidi and I's page, and a couple of groups I'm in, and I use Ecamm and a Restream, and it just blasts it out to a bunch of different groups and pages
everywhere.
Yeah, Doug, if you can, just drop it in the Alchemist Mentorship group. And if you're not following Doug McGurk on Facebook or Dr. Terry Wager on Facebook, you are missing out. So make sure that you're following these guys. Fred Posimo. Biggest takeaway, and then Darina, and I got to keep you guys down to 30 seconds because I got to go eat something before I speak for the next 4 hours. So short and sweet.
The hardest thing that I'm going to have to do today is keep this down to 30 seconds. So what's going on, everybody? So my biggest takeaway, I actually wrote this down in my notebook. And I wrote it down. It's called the Jiu-Jitsu business. So for those of you that know me, you know that I was a martial artist for 15 years before doing all of my entrepreneurial stuff. And one of the martial arts that I learned was Jiu-Jitsu. And if you ever watch a Jiu-Jitsu match, it's the most boring thing to watch because 95% of the time, nobody's moving, but they are. They're moving very, very slightly, and they're making these little tiny adjustments. And then there's a big giant move. And that was what I got out of you saying, conserve your energy until you need it in business, right? What people don't realize about running a marathon, because business is a marathon, there's times where you sprint and there's times where you jog. That's what most people don't understand. They think that they need to be sprinting all of the time. And that phrasing of it, that languaging just hit me in such a way that I was like, I need to talk about the jiu-jitsu business on my next podcast. So that's what's going down, because we got to conserve our energy until we need it in business. Boom. How was that? 30 seconds?
Perfect. Let's give Fred Postimo, the Make Money Have Fun coach. He's in a mastermind with us. He actually runs the mastermind, the Make Money Have Fun mastermind. It's been really, really powerful for me, Mike, Mitch, Ron, Darina. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, he's done a lot. So very impressed.
And I'm now taking applications.
What is it?
I'm now taking applications because I got to wrap you guys up and get some new people in there.
And if you're not following Fred on Facebook, you got to follow Fred. He's a fun guy. Not like a fungus, just a fun guy. Patrick Sullivan, he said jujitsu, and I thought of you. Big takeaway for the 4 types of money. What would you give some advice?
I never took jujitsu. I took lots of other things, though.
I just assumed you're licensed in just about everything.
No, unfortunately not. But, I mean, it's like always like structuring like how you do things and what you do and realizing what works for you and what doesn't compared to what a lot of other people say. Like you said, Dave R's name, who everyone knows my opinions of him, you know, and realizing not that everything he says is bad, just most of it. But realizing like good debt and bad debt and what you can do and not do. I was actually just thinking about like you and I have been talking about credit cards a lot lately, and I added all of them up the other day. And between my girlfriend and I, we have $250,000 of credit cards. Not debt, you know, but I mean, I only owe like 10 grand on all of them or something like that right now. You know, it's like I could go buy a house tomorrow and put it on Visa cards and things like that. You know, so I have that available. And there's times when I've spent huge amounts of money on them, you know, and spent $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on something because we didn't have a lot of cash at the moment for something because it was tied up. But it made sense to do it at the time, you know, because half these things I don't even pay interest on, you know, for 18 months or things like that. So it's free money in that. Obviously, you want to be very careful of that because you don't want to bury yourself into things because you can imagine what the minimum monthly payment on $250,000 credit cards would be. You know, but it has its place in times that things can work, but you listen to a lot of other things and it's just evil. No, never, don't do it. You know, so
I like that, Patrick.
Want to do and not do.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy. And Patrick is like the king of creative financing. He's used those credit cards to buy houses, I'm sure, the same way I have.
Oh yeah.
In fact, yeah. And to do renovations, you didn't have the money. It's like, yeah, throw it on a card. Let's just bang it out.
I put the down payment on my Tesla on my American Express card because I got points for it. And the dealership said no, and I was just going to walk away. And then they did.
That's how it works. That's the best negotiating tactic in the business. Be willing to walk away. Let's give Patrick Sullivan a round of applause. And the beautiful, amazing, a talented Darina Pagodina. What would you say is the biggest takeaway that people should get out of the 4 types of money?
Yes, a lot of great points. And it's actually my favorite part when we all plug in at the end, because in a short period of time, all the coaches jump in and they share their biggest takeaways. So it's summarizes and wrapping up. So it made me think that I read this phrase about 3 years ago, that an expert in anything was once a beginner. And it stuck with me that, you know, we start over every day depending on what the day is going to look like for us. And we have in our minds that every day counts. So just like you learn a new language. When I didn't speak English for 5 years, I forgot it. I had to relearn it. It's almost like retraining your brain, retraining your mind. You got to keep doing it every day. And like Jim Rohn says, skip a meal, don't skip 30 minutes of reading. So just get going and do it every day. Do something about it every day. Whether you have to jump or you have to walk slow, you will figure out how to adjust your pace. But don't quit and don't stop. You're a beginner, you will be an expert.
I like that. Let's give Darina a round of applause. Very inspirational. Mike Shine, do you have the ability to talk? I see you running around like a madman trying to get to Florida.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is thank you to Mitch for doing the book of the week. That was awesome. And I just want to say that I think that Doug McGurk is like the biggest hidden treasure of this whole program. He's just amazing, dropping bombs of knowledge all the time. And if you, he's worth the price of admission all on his own. So that's what I'm going to say. And I'm not planning to see you.
Thank you, brother.
See ya.
We'll see you in Florida, Mike. Safe trip, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to all the coaches. Thank you to yourself. Go ahead, Terry. You got one?
One quick coach we had not talked about, Ryan McDermott.
Is he here?
He is not here. He decided that he wanted to take his kids skiing, but I talked to him yesterday and I wanted to mention him. That guy is on fire, helping us with our finances, helping us make sure that our money is making money. And so he's with his kids skiing, having a good time, but he wanted to say hello. I wanted to shout him out.
Excellent. For anybody who hasn't worked with Ryan McDermott has his Series 7. He's a financial advisor, but he's not like the one who's just trying to sell insurance. He looks at your entire situation and makes you money. He says, Uncle Sam doesn't need all this. We can actually use this and leverage it to do that. So he's able to get money on money on money, making money, keeping money where it belongs. The government has put out a lot of different financial structures so that you can leverage and keep a lot of your money in play. The problem is it's complicated and you have to go through a lot of schooling and education to get that knowledge. Fortunately, what Ryan has done is he's built a product that he doesn't make money from selling products. He doesn't make money from telling you to buy this or buy that. Instead, what he's built is I will just treat you like a coach, look at your entire business and say, okay, this is what I would do, and build a strategy out that way. So he uses all of his knowledge and all of his ability as a financial advisor, but he doesn't make money from you investing your money with him. Does that make sense? So he's not incentivized to say, hey, just give me your money and I'll work with it. He's incentivized to just work with you based on what will actually move you forward. So he tells you to buy real estate. Right? This is why I like Ryan. He doesn't necessarily jump in the Bitcoin phase yet, but we'll work on him. His Series 7 doesn't really allow him to give advice on Bitcoin because it's unregulated. So, but he's a real estate investor, and me and Mitch are working on the Bitcoin side. It's
the great thing that I think about Ryan is he teaches you how to save the right way so that you can invest your income and you can invest in the properties and all of the ways that you're supposed to. That's really the best way to increase your money by saving. It's like the correct way to save, to build.
Absolutely. We've got an amazing team. And as I was saying, you are amazing as well. You showed up again, week after week after week. Yes, it's hard work for me to show up and do this every week, but honestly, I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I love seeing you. I love seeing your success. I love seeing the comments afterwards. I'm going to make a request for your success right after this video. As soon as we hang up, do it in the moment that you're inspired. Pull out your camera, turn it facing you, and do a Facebook Live with your biggest takeaway from Wealth Principle number 3. Tag me in it so I can see your success. Make it 30 seconds, make it a minute. Make sure you're smiling and just take one of the notes that you wrote down and do a Facebook Live. It's going to improve your business. It's going to improve and attract money and success to you, and it's going to improve your awareness, people that are aware of you. You need attention to be successful. The more eyeballs on you, the more money flows to you. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. Terry, I saw your hand up. You got one?
Yeah. Peter Brown has a question I saw in the chat. Ron said, go ahead, ask away. So I want to hear it out loud because I want to hear your answer.
Oh, cash flow?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I was wondering when I was reading the book, this kind of hit me. It was cash flow is a force that can hide all sins. I was like, damn, that's good. And so I didn't know if that was straight from you or where you got that from. I was like, that's good stuff. This is a good book, man. It's really good.
Thank you. Let's give Peter a round of applause for reading. I think last night you were on page 67.
I'm on 93 now.
93. Let's give Peter a round of applause. So that actually came from a cigar shop. I was sitting there and I was joking that joint compound is the tool that hides all sins. And my mentor looked over at me. Dave was like, no, cash flow hides all sins. And he said in his gruff voice with a cigar. And I just remember thinking that was so epic. And it's so true. With enough cash flow, man, you can make some mistakes. It will cover it. So cash flow hides all sins. Awesome quote, Peter. Thank you, brother. But I'll take it. The way I see it is I put it in the book. He didn't. So points to me. And I do give my mentor a lot of credit. In the beginning of the book, I do have a little piece that I wrote about him. So thank you, Peter. Great question. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to jump off. We're jumping into the LA Real Estate Investors Association. I'll be teaching Get the Deal live. I'll be running some exercises. So I'm going to go rest up for about 20 minutes, drink some water, eat some food, and get a kiss from Dorina because she owes me one. So thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you for taking your life to this level. We're just getting started. This is just the beginning. We have work to do. Yes, there are some things we're going to accomplish. We've got teams to build. We've got things to sell. But first, you got to sell yourself on your success. You can become a millionaire. It's easy. Trust me. It's also harder than you think. But it can be done, and it can be done in a year. It can be done in less time. Some of you will decide to do it in 3 to 5 years. That's okay. I'm still here. I'll still be here. Hands to the camera if you know you're ready to do this. Hands to the camera if you know you're in the right place. You got the right people around you. Awesome. Awesome. I see Charles Coach on here as well, Charles. Thank you for hanging out with us today, brother. Looking awesome, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. Make sure you do those Facebook Lives. Put out one lesson, one principle that you pulled from today. Wealth principle number 3. Go on Facebook Live. I'll see you there. Cheers.